Hi, everyone. Tim Gabire, Superintendent, Mount Pleasant Area School District. Joining us today are Alan Belinsky, Assistant Principal at the high school and Athletic Director, and Tom Droney and Nate Perry from Team Pride. The idea here is to get a good sense of what Team Pride is, how it can be beneficial to the district, where it came from, and why it's here, and how for current times as well as moving into the future, it could be something of a great partnership for us. But just to start it off, what is Team Pride?
Yeah, sure. Team Pride is a certified Adidas team dealer, sports apparel. We're a one-stop shop. We're based out of Rochester, Indiana. We also have a production facility in Santa Fe Springs, California. We can handle anything from sublimation, screen printing, heat press, cut and sew. Really, it's a one-stop shop for any sport. Adidas is our preferred option on field, on court, as far as uniforms and travel gear, but we're so much more than that. We're able to provide products for any sport from a number of different vendors.
Yeah, I know on the agenda in April, the Board of Directors actually approved the agreement with Team Pride. Mr. Belinsky, I know you were instrumental at the beginning of this. Why did we, as a district, actually look to create the partnership?
With everything going on in the economy and everything, it was a lot easier to get to the one-stop shop with Team Pride. Some of our vendors were selling to other bigger vendors. Some of our vendors were going out of business. So it was harder and harder to get our equipment as quickly as we needed to without going this route. Team Pride gets us what we need in a timely fashion, but also has the ability to, if we can get a better deal somewhere else, we can go somewhere else and get that deal. So it was a good idea for us.
And that's apparel, equipment, I mean,
Everything.
that's pretty much everything. Because I know when we were looking at scoreboards, we even checked into that
Yep.
option early on to see if that was a fit.
Right, yeah. I mean, not as far as the athletic program, as well as the Boosters Club, trying to just help any needs they need. I mean, you guys are busy, the athletic programs are busy,
Yep.
and with this day and age, any help you can get and make it an easier transition, an easier process, and that's kind of why we're here.
Yeah, you mentioned booster clubs. How does it benefit booster clubs as well as the athletic teams? Like, what can it do for booster groups?
Yeah, well, I'd say for us, obviously boosters are a huge part of a lot of different school districts, and they're involved in purchasing or raising money, however it may be. And we don't want to step on anyone's toes. What we want to do is provide an option and say, look, we're going to be able to get you high quality apparel at a lower price, and you're going to be able to get promo money kicked back to you, and it's just a wide range of options when you consolidate some sports into one contract as opposed to breaking it up. You kind of get more back and more incentives and more rebates out of the deal.
So those incentives, our goal with those incentives is to start getting, we supply all the needs for every sport.
Correct.
So all those wants, we can start trying to get some of those wants done for all those sports, and with those incentives that we can get from Team Pride.
Yeah. But and one of the things we talked about for quite some time is a brand. Like, how do we get to the point to where we know what our logo is, we know what our colors are, and we're following that in a consistent manner across the board. What does it mean? I might have said it a little bit there, but what does it mean to brand, and how can Team Pride assist with that particular process?
Yeah, for us, obviously we talk about Adidas and we talk about some of the options that we have as far as vendors to provide that apparel, but it's really more about Mount Pleasant and how we can help the branding of Mount Pleasant, because that's really the brand for us. So how can we help you guys push the brand, make sure that everything's uniform, you guys feel comfortable on the field, off the field, even in the school, everyone's supporting Mount Pleasant, and you're making sure that you're following the brand guidelines so that everyone, it looks clean and clear. Yep.
Our brand guidelines, we want to make sure all the reds are the reds, all the whites are the whites, all the blues are the blues. There's a spectrum of colors. So we want everything to be as consistent as possible throughout. Also, with the mascot, from the Viking facing one way to the other way to the MP, whatever we choose, this will be a way to get everything on the same page.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off that, I would also say, this is a fresh start, and we're very, very excited. but I would say even in the community in making Mount Pleasant School District a powered Adidas school. Not everything will be Adidas because price points, and make sure we have gear and apparel equipment for everybody, but be able to brand not only the community but the school in the same colors and get a pretty powerful brand behind them, be able to push that. I think that help the community, help us, help you, and be a good partnership.
And I know Mr. Belinsky hit on it a little bit, but yeah, you sometimes you'll see the Viking V. It'll have the face facing to the left. Other times it'll be facing to the right. Sometimes it has like a yellowish hair, sometimes brownish hair, sometimes facial hair. They're all different. So how do we get to something that's consistent, that is truly Mount Pleasant area? And then also we have the MP that's used quite a bit. And it's okay to have two. You can have a primary logo, secondary logo, but then getting those colors, so it's not a navy blue and a royal blue and a powder blue. It's a consistent, this is who we are. Yeah, this is our logo, this is our secondary logo, and these are the colors, and we start to follow that. So that'd be nice. It'd be nice to get there because we're sort of all over the place right now, so it'd be great to get there. We talked a little bit about booster groups, but as far as the booster groups, school clubs, our youth groups even around the community, how can they take advantage of what Team Pride has to offer?
Of course, yeah. Well, there's so many options, and like we talked about, all of the opportunity we have outside of just Adidas, right? And we're so much more than just Adidas, and whether that's camps or summer clinics or it doesn't matter what it is. We have opportunity to not only provide great product and make sure that the brand is represented the right way, but we also want to get into the school and work with the entrepreneurs and deal with some of the students that might be interested in getting in this line of work down the road. So we're all in, Team Pride's all in on Mount Pleasant, and we're just really excited to kind of get our foot in the door and show what we can provide.
Yeah, and the community piece. There's a lot of things happen in the community, and I think just, not only take sports outside, there's a ton of clubs, there's a ton of extracurricular activities where sometimes they take the back seat when they shouldn't, and that's where I think we could come in and help provide them great quality product.
With those boosters and those feeder systems, those Little League systems, what we ask them to do is, I asked all coaches, is just see those guys get a quote for that stuff. So whatever you need, that's a want, not a need. Get the quote from those guys. That way you can see the difference. Obviously, if it's a better deal, you go somewhere else. But majority of the time, it's not. But we want to see the quote. That way you can see what we're trying to get to you and how quickly it's turned around.
And talking about quotes and apparel, is it true that we have an online apparel store going to be at some point available?
We're working on it right now. Tom is actually getting a meeting set up with our entrepreneurship class, and they are going to get together and start this online store to go on our website. He's building it and helping our class build it, so our kids will be hands-on with this stuff. That way they are getting involved in it, they know how to do it, and they take pride in it.
Yep, yeah. Well, they're going to not only understand just looking at the apparel and figuring out what makes sense, but they're also going to understand order injection. They're going to understand inventory, turn times, all the things that we deal with on a day-to-day basis. We're hoping that we can kind of bestow upon some of the students here at Mount Pleasant.
One might get a job too.
Yeah,
hire
maybe.
one.
That sounds very exciting for the district.
Oh, it is. It's very exciting.
Very
One of the things I want to do all the time. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So before we get into contact information, anything at all that we might not have covered that you think might be important here relative to Team Pride from the school's end or from the company's
The
end?
only thing I want to say is that it's not just Adidas. When I talk about there's Mizuno for baseball, there's ASICS, they have so many other apparel or other brands they use or companies they use, so that way we get what we want. It's just not an Adidas shop. You get everything involved in this whole deal we signed.
Yeah, well, I would say the last thing for us is the customer service. We try to be there. I'm on the phone with Alan once a week, twice a week,
or more.
A good bit, maybe even more. So try to be face-to-face every couple weeks. You're going to see our faces a lot, hopefully, but as far as contacting us, we're an open book. So Alan has our contact information. I think you've shared it in an email, but we're always open and we're always available. So reach out, call us, email us, text us. We're available.
I believe their contact information will be up here shortly, and their email addresses. And if you need to get a hold of them, just contact me and I will pass that information on and their numbers.
Yeah, well, we're going to put up the information now, and thank you for joining us today. you know, we had the deal in April, and it's just trying to get to the point to where everybody now understands what's happening, why it's happening, and how they can take advantage of it. And this is a big piece in that process. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We're
today.
very
Thank
excited.
you.
Go Vikings.